Initiating podcast download. Prepare yourself. Put on your spandex. Lace up your boots. Wrap your wrists. Hide your razor blade. Head to gorilla position. Grease up your hair. Apply baby oil. Okay, apply more baby oil. Get into gimmick. Keep your ears open and your mouth shut. Have fun and be safe out there, brother. Welcome to I'm on Wrestling. Now your host, Gregory Iron.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Iron on Wrestling with with Gregory Iron. I'm your host, Gregory Iron. This is episode 317.
What? Wait, what?
It's 317.
I asked you if you did 316. You told me no. You said I barely got one, but it's not really.
I said I did a podcast last week with Zach Thomas. And
Zach Thomas for 316?
It was 316, yes.
Oh, lick my sack, Zach Thomas.
Listen.
How's he doing?
Not well.
Okay.
He's been, I'm sure you listened to last week's episode, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good one, too.
Surprisingly, he was talking a lot about his mental health. His mental health has been definitely an issue for him. And, after the fact, it was very nice. I don't know if he cares that I share this. I won't go in depth, but he was texting me after the fact like, hey, thanks for having me on the show. It was nice being able to open up about those things, and I'd like to do the show more often if you'll have me on, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that's a step in the right direction. But, he's on medicine and stuff now, so it's it's an issue,
Well, that's what seems to be what drives us, I guess.
Medicine?
Mental
health?
Yeah, mental health. It's
Yeah.
we have all of our wrestling friends.
Yeah.
Have some kind of an issue.
Go figure.
Yeah.
What are the odds?
Somebody should do a study on that.
Maybe.
So I thought it was 316, and I was just going to for the next hour, but now that I realize we're 317.
317. Maybe we could do something for 319 in honor of Even Colder. It is Austin 319, which I don't understand why it's 319 and why he didn't just go with 317 or 315 because he's even colder.
Maybe you just flipped the 6 upside down, made it a 9.
Maybe. That could
You
be
like
a
that
thing.
number, don't you?
The 6 or the 9 or both?
Both of them together.
Yeah, I like both of them together.
I'm more of a 6-7 guy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What does 6-7 mean?
I still don't know.
Okay.
My kids tell me it means nothing.
It means nothing, but also some other kids will say it means so. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You move the hands around 6-7,
I like that,
6-7. I also feel idiotic that this is even a thing that we have to. What is that? What does that mean that the kids are saying? When I was talking to Johnny in Florida a couple weeks ago, he told me, Quill's been doing that 6-7 thing. So I walked up to Quill and I go, Quill, 6-7? He goes, 6-7, 6-7.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is so dumb. And I said, Johnny, this feels like a bit where we're 40-year-old men that don't know anything.
Yeah.
But we're really 40-year-old men.
Right.
Does that make sense?
No, it does, because I was doing a 6-7 thing with my kids.
Yeah.
But then my youngest was like, "Oh, Dad, this I forget some car. This car is gas." And I was like, "Yeah, that's cool." And he was like, "Oh, sorry. I'm sure you don't know what that means." And I was like, "Come on."
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not that out of touch.
Sure, yeah. You know what? We got to reclaim this lingo as our own.
Yeah.
And by saying lingo, first of all, I sound
old.
so unhip. But I've been walking around work and walking up to the 20-year-olds and going 6-7, 6-7, or I'll just straight up lie to them because at some points at my job they have to ask what the last 4 of my social is. And so to one of my managers who's 27, I was like, 6-7, 6-7, and she started to type it, and she goes, I really started to type that. I'm like, I know you did.
Yeah.
I was really proud of myself. How are you? Haven't
Good,
seen you in
good.
2 weeks.
Yeah, well, we're in the new setting now.
We're in a new setting. This is a Cracker Barrel?
Yeah, we're in the Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
We live in the Cracker Barrel
That's
now.
nice. I like
The
it.
studio's all Cracker Barreled out.
Yeah. Very tall ceilings.
Yep. Can you smell the food?
I can.
Yeah. We're going to eat steak, but we're not going to pay for it this time.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I will miss third base.
Yeah.
I guess they don't deliver this far. It's a little bit of a drive for them from.
Look, those dickheads, the last time we got it, our fries were soggy.
Yeah, that's true.
And our steaks were a little bit smaller. They probably figured they owed that to us, though, for giving us $9 steaks for the past 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Every Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, today on the show, we're going to be talking about some indie wrestling from the past, specifically the 1999 time frame based on a television show that I've been watching that's been getting re-uploaded to YouTube called Pro Wrestling Weekly. So we're going to discuss that and the host of that show here on the program, but also during Aaron's moving and unpacking, we've uncovered a July/August 2003 newsletter that's so many pages, like almost 30 pages that they sold at a PWX show back in the day. There are interviews, there's information about other indie promotions. I have no clue what's inside this book. Aaron, I assume you just flipped through it. You didn't read anything really in depth.
no, I skimmed. I opened and I saw, because I was like, does this have actual text in it? Or
Yeah.
is it just blank pages? Like, I thought maybe like it was just like a cover and a bunch of blank pages.
Yeah.
Maybe some autographs or something. But no, it's an actual, somebody took some time, made a magazine, typed everything out. It's almost like an old dirt sheet, but for the indies. And I did see that the Q&A in there is with a special guest that I think you'll enjoy.
Okay. Well, I'm very interested to see what's in this program. I don't know if we were even going to get through the whole program, but we're going to see what we could do. But, of course, we're also doing extra stuff for patreon.com/irononwrestling this week. We're going to be doing a Q&A, answering your questions. We might even get a couple on this episode just to give you a sneak preview of what's in store on the free Q&A episode over on patreon.com/irononwrestling. Free to sign up for that tier, but, of course, if you want to support the show, we're also going to be doing stuff in the $3 tier, all of the bonus audio going back to 2019 that you can hear. But, of course, this week we'll be talking about Saturday night's main event and also the performance of Jey Uso, talking about some of the worst World Heavyweight Championship performances, perhaps of all time, main event performances of all time. And we'll see what happens over in the bonus episodes. $3 for the audio, $5 for the bonus video. I'm actually going to be uploading some toy unboxings this week. I've got some
You
stuff.
got new toys?
I do. I have some stuff in packages that
What a man-child.
I've been sitting for a week. Okay, so we just did a little bit of an extended version for Patreon.com listeners. We talked for like an extra 20 minutes about just some randomness, Hasbro-style re-release figures, Mike Rotunda maybe passing away. I'm not laughing at that. At the same time, while I'm trying to conduct myself professionally here, Aaron, is this a Father's Day card for me?
No,
What is
that
this?
was a Father's Day card I received at work.
Okay, so Aaron received a Father's Day card at work.
Well, I'm unpacking boxes as we're doing this podcast because I moved. And
Who'd you get this from?
I think his last name was Anderson.
Okay, that's not who you actually got it from, but whoever gave Aaron this card, when you open it, it says, "You are my rock," and then it says, "P.S. I'm horny, Principal Anderson."
Yeah, that's him.
So
That's the guy.
It's a Billy Madison reference.
I thought you gave it to me. Never
I did
mind.
not, no.
Okay,
No,
well,
it's
maybe
in-
it was the real Principal Anderson.
It might
I
have
might
been.
be able to get some tonight.
I think I might have mentioned this before, but before I saw Billy Madison on video, I first saw it on TV. So the "P.S. I'm horny" never made it to the TV
Yeah,
version.
they cut it. Yeah.
So it was like extra funny when I actually saw the real version of the movie, when I was like, wait, what? That's not in the movie. Anyways, so something that I wanted to talk about that pertains to independent wrestling from the past this week on the show, something that was, until I rewatched it, near and dear to my heart. I will continue to rewatch it, by the way. But every week on a local channel called The Cat, Channel 35 here in Cleveland, and I believe it was 23.
Wow.
I believe it was 23 in the Akron, Ohio area. There was a show that would come on, I think it was either Saturdays or Sunday at 12, called Pro Wrestling Weekly. And it was interesting. It was on from 99 to 2003. And I enjoyed it because I felt like I was getting insider information on professional wrestling. And it was hosted by two guys that for the longest time I couldn't remember. And as I continued my independent wrestling journey, I realized that one of them was an independent wrestler by the name of Rick Lieb that was a co-host of the show. The other individual was a man by the name of John Potok. Okay.
Oh,
Do you know John Potok?
yeah.
Okay, so hold on. We'll talk about that in a second. So I didn't remember John until these episodes started getting re-uploaded to YouTube, which they're being put up on this. I believe it's RCW Network YouTube. Rick Lieb is uploading the original episodes of the show from '99 every Saturday that go up, and I've been watching them because I remember really looking forward to the show, and they would have a trivia question every week or trivia questions, and I remember them being pretty easy and everybody getting them wrong and like wanting to call in, but I never called in to win free tickets to like local independent wrestling shows or like a Goldberg autograph and shit. And Aaron, as I'm watching this show, it is mostly, I'm 6 episodes in. I'm hoping that it gets better as they continue to upload them, but I have my doubts. It is bad. It is a bad show, and
You ever think that maybe you're the one that's bad?
no, like look, I think it's, I'm not suggesting that nobody watches this because I do find it interesting that it was on a actual TV station, but the quality of the show, it aired live because obviously we were taking phone calls, but it looks like a public access show.
Uh-huh.
It's an interesting watch to go back to that time period, but that being said, like these guys, I don't know, should have been hosting a show. So it's clear as I watch this that they're definitely subscribers to the Wrestling Observer because they're reading about, information about inside scoops coming up, like at shows supposedly. But they're also, when callers call in asking stuff, which the questions vary from pretty simplistic things happening from week to week to, hey, whatever happened to this wrestler? They just kind of fumble and make stuff up. So
Yeah.
I want to elaborate
Like
that.
us.
No. But before I go any further on that, what do you know about Pro Wrestling Weekly? What do you know about John Potok? And what do you know about role model Rick Lieb?
I know nothing about any of it except for Potok's name is familiar because I think he hosts a YouTube show right now. I think he might have been the guy that knew that Seth Rollins' injury was work from the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he broke that news.
He broke that news.
Yeah.
John Potok wrote the
Yep.
news? I don't think he broke the news, but
Look it up, dude.
that's all you know him from? You don't know him from
Yeah.
the local scene?
Nope. Never heard of him. And Rick Lieb, I knew because I think I was booked on a show one time and he was working a merch table and he was doing like a Ric Flair gimmick and he handed me a business card and said, hey, I heard you promote in the Cleveland area. I'd love to come to work for you. And I'm kind of a big deal.
He said he was kind of a big deal?
He might have said that. I know that he came off as that.
Okay.
Like, he thought he was really good, and he had a look, though. So I kept looking for him on the internet and stuff back then.
When you say like he had a look, like he looked like a human being?
He looked like Ric Flair,
I
But-
w-
because he had a robe.
yeah.
It wasn't a bathrobe. It was, it was
Okay.
a nice-looking robe. He had a
Sure.
good outfit. I don't know anything really else about the guy.
I
He
don't-
said he was a role model.
I don't want to disrespect role model Rick Lieb. I want to preface this by saying that I did, as a kid, I remember thinking he was pretty funny and witty. I enjoyed watching him on the show. He played like a bad guy. However, he has blocked me on the internet for some reason, for reasons I don't know.
I'm sure you know.
I don't. If I
you
did,
probably shit talked him. You know how you are.
I don't think I did, but I will say this: like he's not a good wrestler at all, and it's kind of, I mean, it's kind of a joke that he is. I mean, he's a Ric Flair ripoff. As I go back and watch these Pro Wrestling Weekly shows, he's definitely a big Ric Flair fan. Obviously, I
Well, he
don't,
spells his name R-I-C.
I was going to say I don't even think his name is actually Rick because his name is R-I-C. There's no way his shoot name is coincidentally the same as his favorite wrestler, Rick R-I-C Flair. So he's not a very good wrestler. He's still actively wrestling. Now, I've been talking a lot to Eric from Patreon because Eric also used to watch the show every weekend. We actually met up last week, and I gave him some of his past Patreon packages, and we ate some food at a local restaurant called Sloppy Bob's. What do you know about Sloppy Bob's?
Nothing. Is that place by your house?
Yeah, you should.
Oh, yeah. You already told me about how good that place
You
is.
need to go to Sloppy Bob's.
All right.
Free plug for Sloppy Bob's here on the show. But, yeah, me and Eric have just been talking about, like, how not as good this show is that we thought it was. And Rick Lieb, they don't really...
You watched this when you were younger?
Yes.
Wow.
In like 99, 2000.
Yeah, see, I never...
It was on until 2003, but I don't think I watched it that long. But I definitely, like, because I remember, like, some of the trivia questions, which I'm going to pop when I get to it. I remember one week they were like, name all of the original members of the Dudley Boyz. I was like, what do you mean all the original members? Because I didn't know that there was more than just Bubba Ray and Devon. So then when someone called in and it was like Big Dick Dudley, and I'm just like, wait, what? What? All these guys were in the Dudley Boyz?
Well, I want to ask you this then.
Okay.
I want to ask you who you know from the Dudleys. Can you name the original Dudley members?
Sign Guy.
Sign Guy?
Big Dick.
Big Dick.
Spike. Bubba Ray.
He wasn't original, though, but okay.
Well, I thought we were just naming everybody. Bubba, Devon.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I don't know any.
Dances with Dudley?
Dances with Dudley.
Little Snot Dudley?
I don't even remember Little Snot Dudley.
Yeah, that was because of LSD.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then when he was gone, then they brought in Little Spike Dudley.
Okay.
Dances with Dudley. Okay, maybe that's it.
Do you even know? Jeez, now
No,
you're
I
like,
think that's it. Yeah.
Anyway, so these trivia questions on the show, let's start there. Not good. They just are making up the trivia questions off the top of their head. And it's crazy to me because some of the trivia questions are like not even that far removed from the time period for which they happened.
Yeah.
And these guys are getting some of their own trivia questions wrong, which is pissing me off. For example.
Yes.
Okay. One of the trivia questions from one of these episodes, which again, this is available on YouTube if you guys have some time. If you are looking for something new to watch, Pro Wrestling Weekly, if you look it up, the YouTube channel should come up. That's on. They have Even Colder on there. It's the RCW Network is the channel. And they're actually doing pretty good views on these episodes, like a couple thousand views on the episode, which is like
wow,
crazy to me.
Yeah.
But this is where they had Even Colder as a guest, and I'm very curious as they get deeper into indie wrestling what kind of guests they end up having on the show. One of the episodes, Gmo calls in.
Ooh.
And is plugging the CWA, and they don't know who he is.
Yeah.
And he's talking about how he's going to jump off the rooftop at Gargano. So, so especially if you're like a Cleveland listener or an Ohio listener, I think this will be very intriguing for you to watch. But trivia question. Someone calls in. Yeah. I need you to call in and tell me what was Shane Douglas's original name in the WWF when he was in there the first time. Now, what is the answer to that?
It would have to be like Troy Martin. But when he had his first like real run, it was Shane Douglas.
Right. Well, that's not what they went with.
Oh.
So someone called in and said Dean Douglas, and they said correct. So they were. That's not the correct answer, actually. And again, I don't want to sound like a dork, but it's like if you're going to have a wrestling show and you're going to have people call in for trivia questions, you probably should know the actual answer. Like here's one that I was like, I was dying on the inside because I was like, that's not right. And as callers would call in, they would get a little bit of the answer correct, and so they would. So you're basically feeding someone the answer, but also it's the wrong answer. Mm-hmm. So one of the questions was, what was the first pay-per-view ever? Okay. What was the first pay-per-view ever? What is the answer to that? Now, I think they specifically meant WWF, so we're not even going to go
because I was going to go.
It's probably going to be NWA. I think it's Starrcade, technically.
I think so.
But first WWF pay-per-view, what is it? What was the first?
It wasn't WrestleMania 1. It was...
Come on. It was one they never did again.
Great Balls of Fire.
No. The Wrestling Classic.
Oh, that's it.
The
and they did a King of the Ring type of...
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that was November of 85. So people are calling in, and they claim, this being John Potok and Rick Lee, that the answer is WrestleMania. Okay?
Yeah.
But this guy calls in, and he goes... the Wrestling Classic, November of 1985, and they go, nope, that's not right. And he goes, are you sure? And they're like, nope, WrestleMania, first pay-per-view. And he's like, are you counting Closed Circuit? Like this dude, knew what he's talking. He's like, Closed Circuit counts as a pay-per-view. And this guy's kind of like, oh, okay. But so like the guy didn't get to win the trivia question. I'm like dying. I'm like, this guy got robbed.
Yeah.
He knew the answer and he was correcting them.
I wish we could find out who that guy was, and then we could give him like free tickets to Mega Wrestling.
Right? Yeah, we gotta find him.
Something here.
We gotta find him. But then God, these questions were so dumb. Like, name the original 4 Horsemen, and people couldn't do it.
Ooh.
People couldn't do it. Like, it's crazy. Like, the one that was killing me on the inside, they asked, what was the main event of WrestleMania 1? You got to name who was in whose corner. These motherfuckers are calling up. Now, again, remember we're in 99.
Uh-huh.
Not that far removed from the first WrestleMania. And they're calling up going like, Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. Nope. Hulk Hogan versus King Kong Bundy. Nope. Hulk Hogan versus Paul Orndorff. No. And I'm like, I'm beating my head against the wall watching this YouTube video from 25 years ago, being like, why is no one getting this right? And then, so like, random. Obviously, again, like they said, they're reading from the Wrestling Observer. But like, Rick Lieb just makes shit up. Like, when he doesn't know an answer, like the one week on the show, they asked, like, whatever happened to Magnum TA? And they're like, we actually don't know, but we'll find out and we'll get you that information next week. The next week on the show, Rick Lieb says, for the caller that wanted to know about Magnum TA last week, he actually just returned to the ring last night, and his manager was Percival Pringle or something. I don't really know the guy, but apparently he returned to the ring last night. And so I looked at the date, and it was like May of 99, and I just out of curiosity, I went to Cage Match to see if there was anything. Definitely was not a match with Magnum TA in 1999. And also, I did find that it could be quite impossible because I'm sure you know Magnum TA is paralyzed from the waist down.
Yeah.
So the fact that he may have made his return in May of 1999 was like crazy to me. Because I mean, like, wrestlers from that time period could be pretty dumb sometimes. But also, I feel like I would have saw that in a wrestling magazine, like paralyzed human being Magnum TA decided for some reason to return to wrestling. So yeah, he just made that up.
You know, though, I mean, maybe he could have been, like, he returned to wrestling as a guest commentator.
Maybe,
I mean,
but he said
I don't really remember that. I think maybe Magnum may have come back 1 or 2 times, but just to present somebody with the championship after they won it or something that, or as a judge. Or...
Yeah. Like, I mean, he did as recently as in WWE, like I think it was like 2008, he was in the crowd for one of those Night of Champions shows. Same show, which I think was like the last appearance on camera of Rick Martel.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, because he was in the crowd with, of all people, they had, so it was Night of Champions, they had Rick Martel in the crowd, and he was with Tony Gurria.
Oh,
like, why were they paying homage to fucking Tony Gurria and the Rick Martel tag team, right? Like, that seems really random.
Huh.
Isn't that strange?
That is strange. I mean, I remember them being a tag team. I think they were tag team champions.
But like, who the hell would know that when they think of Rick Martel?
Right.
Like, so yeah, they're just making shit up on the show. Like, they're talking about like Sable, like why she had to drop the belt. Again, this is May of '99. She's about to legitimately leave the company.
Yeah.
And they're talking about like, oh, she needs to drop the belt because you know, she's getting too big for the WWF, and she's going to do another Playboy thing, and she doesn't have time to defend the belt. And like, that's not actually what's happening. You guys are just making that up. Or
so what did happen?
She ended up.
Was that when
they took the belt off her because she was leaving and she was going to sue the company?
Yeah.
And they keep saying like there's this rumor. Again, they might have got this from the Observer, but they keep talking like our sources are telling us that Shawn Michaels is about to come back any week now and reform D-Generation X, and so like again that did not happen. In May of '99. Just I don't know. Did you ever watch this show? And what are your thoughts? Because like my thing is like I guess they could get away with making shit up like they had insider knowledge because
nobody knew back then.
The internet is still in its infancy. It's not like anybody could fact check this and be like, hey, you're making this up.
That's what I think. It was just all of them like working.
I'm curious how they got on the Cat and if they were getting money for this or like what the deal was. If they just wanted a wrestling show because it was like popular by that time period or what.
Was it? Did they maybe pay to be on there? Was it a public access type of deal?
I don't know. But like all I know is like because all I know from the Cat was obviously they played like other shows, but the Cat locally had every wrestling fed you could imagine.
Right. They
had WWF Shotgun on Saturday nights. They had NWA on there. When TNA became a thing, they had the Explosion on there.
Yeah.
They had Memphis Wrestling on there one night. They had like a Florida Championship Wrestling show. You could watch Smoky Mountain, like old Smoky Mountain episodes at one point. It was weird. Like if you're a wrestling fan and you lived in Ohio, you needed to watch the Cat. So
it's funny too because I was always finding wrestling stuff, but I didn't get the Cat.
That's unfortunate. You were missing out.
The only time I got the
ECW,
Cat was
ECW was on there as well.
Yeah, but I didn't see it on there.
Where were you? You were just doing the tape trading.
No, well, before ECW became, and then April 23rd, 1996 would be my guess. Was the first day that ECW Hardcore TV ran on cable, and I think it was Sports Time Ohio.
Well, Sports Time Ohio.
Well, it wasn't called that then.
Yeah.
It was called something else. Sports Time. America.
That's right when like Pillman came in, right? April of '96.
Yeah.
It's about to piss in the ring.
Yep.
That's a pretty good first, no pun intended, exposure.
No, the first thing I saw was, so my buddy Tiger Rudo had just been flipping channels at 2 a.m, and he saw Joey Styles, and he hit record on his VCR, and he was able to tape the first episode that aired for me, and I went and watched it, and the very first thing you see is Joey Styles, and he's saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, straight from the hood, New Jack, Mustafa, the Gangstas," and the Gangstas had just gotten their asses kicked by the Eliminators like 2 weeks before that.
Yep.
And I think they did a total elimination to New Jack while he was sandwiched between two tables.
Oh, wow.
So they were down for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or something. The Gangstas, they were off TV, and they came back and they marched down to the ring, and New Jack cut like one of the best promos I ever heard, and it was chaos because then the Eliminators came out because they called out the Eliminators. The Eliminators come out, they brawl, the entire locker room empties, separate. You go to commercial, you come back, then the next match is on, which is like El Puerto Riqueño versus Supernova.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the Gangsters come back down and just beat the shit out of those guys, and that brings the Eliminators back down, or vice versa, however it happened.
Very chaotic. You weren't seeing shit like that in the WWF.
Yeah, and it was like, oh, man, this is wild. Like, because now I'm not just getting it off of tape trading that I had already read about, in the Observer. Yeah. This was just now happening. I was like, oh, man. So, it was on Sunshine Network or something like that.
Yes.
And life-changing. But I didn't get the cat unless I was out camping.
Okay.
Like if my grandparents would take me camping, we'd get on that little 18-inch or maybe 8-inch TV or something.
Well, and again, like it's nice that these episodes were preserved by Rick Lieb, or maybe it's John Potok uploading, but I think it's Rick Lieb, because that channel's not easy to see. You had to play with the antenna the whole time while you're trying to like watch the show because it's not coming in clearly. It was like a weird, hard to get channel.
Yeah.
But so my thing watching these shows is like they're promoting a lot of local shows in like the Akron, Canton area. Okay, one in particular that Even Colder wrestled for, which please tell me if you heard of this, because again, it's just weird that you didn't have that many interactions of Rick Lieb or John Potok, especially because it's like I would imagine it wasn't much different than now, where it's like, oh, this shitty Fed runs, like this guy fucking sucks, right? Like this guy's a joke, wasn't trained properly. It was called New World Wrestling Federation. That's literally
what?
That's literally the name of the promotion. The main event was Even Colder that they're promoting versus a guy named Switchblade.
Wow.
Like Even Colder versus Switchblade for the New World Wrestling Federation, NWWF. You never heard of that?
No, but I remember I had an idea for the longest time that I wanted to have a Fed called the Ultimate Underground Wrestling Federation. So it's a WWF.
Okay, the WW. Oh, that's actually a great idea.
Right, but I didn't want it to be a serious show. I wanted to do things like have Even Colder on there and like ripoffs of, because I was going to be a ripoff WWF.
I'm stealing that.
Yeah.
I'm stealing that for something. That's genius, actually. So Rick Lieb, who I know is an indie wrestler now, he's not like acknowledging really that he's in the business, but he's alluding to like taking part of these shows. Him and Potok are like referring to like doing these personal appearances at like restaurants and stuff, like watching Monday Night Raw and stuff. So it's like they're trying to like get their name out there. Obviously, the brand is growing. Potok is kind of awkward on camera. Rick Lieb, there's something to him. There's a bit of like a charisma, and like it's more generic than I would imagine as far as like his one-liners and his insults to callers that call in, but it's still mildly entertaining. It's good enough to watch. But I start thinking, like, what's the deal with Rick Lieb? Like, I want to do some research on this guy. And so something that still sits on the internet on a website called thesmartmarks.com is an exclusive interview with your role model, Rick Lieb, okay? And again, he's very heavily influenced by Ric Flair. If you watch this show, you could see that when he becomes a wrestler, or at some point while wrestling, he bleaches his hair blonde, and he's wearing robes and everything. In this interview, he's wrestling for something called the United Wrestling Council, okay? And one of the questions, I'm not going to read this interview, but if you search role model Rick Lieb, this interview will come up online. They ask him about how long he's been wrestling. And in 2004, when this was written, the question to him was, what was your reaction when you first heard about the UWC's weekly TV show? I don't know what they're talking about as far as a TV show. I'm sure it's some fucking public access or some shit. Rick Lieb's response was, well, as you know, I've been a TV guy for years while hosting Pro Wrestling Weekly, so being on TV was nothing new to me. The best part about wrestling on TV and not reporting wrestling news is it finally allows those hypocrites who feel I'm nothing more than a TV guy turned wrestler a chance to see how great I really am. The thing is, I've been wrestling professionally for over 15 years now. So the adjustment was actually made when I became a reporter. So, you know, I'm not a mathematician, but I think I could do some basic math. And so if this was done in 2004, I'm like, what? He's been wrestling since 1989?
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no fucking way. Because also, he looks like a young guy on the show. Because, like, the type of outfits he's wearing, it's very 1999 Cleveland, Ohio attire. He's wearing, like, Tommy Hilfiger stuff and like FUBU, you know. So I'm like he's like a 20-year-old punk kid from the hood, you know, where we grew up. And so I say, does Rick Lieb have a cage match? I look it up. It says his debut was 1989. I for sure thought that was like a mistype, and it was supposed to be 5 years and not 15. And I thought even 5 years would have been an exaggeration. So I'm like, this makes no sense. So I'm talking to Eric from Patreon about it. And then as I'm talking, I find another interview. And now it all makes sense. He's one of the guys that we've talked about for so long, Aaron, on this show that exaggerate their credentials and who they are. Now, this interview, conducted by the same guy on the website, thesmartmarks.com. The guy is named Jared Jayhawk Hawkins. He had an opportunity to sit down with Ohio independent wrestler Rick Lieb to discuss working the indie circuit and the state of the business. And, you know, they're asking him how he became interested in wrestling. He's talking about watching in the mid-70s. I'm like, holy shit, this guy is older. So when he was doing the show, he had to be like 30 years old, which at the time, I guess I would say he looked good for his age. How'd you get in the business in your early 80s? He's doing a backyard thing. Now, here's where we start to get the truth. Who trained you? Actually, let's ask the question beforehand. What was training like? Training wasn't too hard because I somewhat already knew what I was doing thanks to the backyard fed and stuff. But learning how to do things correctly and in order to keep my opponents safe made a huge difference and was pretty cool to me. I enjoyed it. Who trained you? Okay, since I don't really care to give free publicity to lying promoters who promise you the world and then give you nothing for all your hard work, I won't mention his name. Sounds to me like he wasn't trained. But I will tell you that since my return to the ring after a 10-year retirement, I've learned more in the ring than I ever did while training at his school. So, there's your answer. So he gives himself 15 years after supposedly starting training in 1989, which I'm going to guess he was probably just working for a backyard fed. There are no official matches on record from the 1989 time period, nor any time up to 94 or wherever he claims that he was wrestling. And, yeah, he had a 10-year retirement. And I guess, you know, they said, how long you've been wrestling? If you count from the beginning, I've been wrestling 15 years, but if you subtract the 10 years I was out, it's only 5 years. I guess you could just say 15 years total, but 5 years as an active wrestler. So you just say 5 years.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't go to my job if I'd been like, well, you know, I've been at this job for 15 years. Well, if you subtract the 10 years that I wasn't at this job, I guess 5, but let's just say 15.
Hold on a second. You just had a birthday, right?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 39.
You turned 39?
Yes.
Well, you'd be 49 if you counted the 10 years before you were born.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, right? And then I started digging deeper. Dude, I don't know if this is for this episode or we need to do a bonus episode so we can get into this Indie Insider magazine that we have here. There is still an active website because you're not going to believe this. Rick Lieb had a stable. And the website is still active, okay? Because he had mentioned in this interview, so I was like, let me just look this up. If you had to guess the name of his stable, Rick Lieb, the role model Rick Lieb, huge Ric Flair fan.
Yeah.
What do you think the name of his stable would be?
More Horsemen.
Close. Close, very close.
All right.
You're in the right ballpark.
Okay.
Try again. The four...
Horsemen.
No. This website is called. Well, I won't give you the website name. It just says the banner at top says the official fan club of the Four Henchmen.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
Do you know the Four Henchmen?
Yeah. I don't know that I ever watched them wrestle or anything, but I remember the Four Henchmen because it was like, oh, this fucking Ric Flair ripoff,
You know
of
this.
course, has the Four Henchmen.
So okay, so you know more than I think you know. So hold on. Here's the thing.
I don't know anybody who was in it or anything, but I do remember reading about the Four Henchmen.
Okay, so where were you reading about this at?
It has to be on. It had to be like. What was that game that people played? EWF or something? EFW?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
let me send you the
So
link.
what was that, like 2002 maybe? 2002-ish. Would the timeline be about right?
I think this is like 2006, 2007. And I'll
Okay.
tell you why I know. I just sent you the link to the website because I want you to look at what I'm looking at.
Uh-huh.
Because not only is this page on the website active, which is 4henchmen.tripod.com,
Yep.
but there are many, many other like areas on this website that are still accessible. So I just want to read, first of all, I don't want you to go too far ahead of me.
All
here.
right. Wait, Android security. The security system has detected a
Go-
wiretap on your phone.
Go back. It did that to me originally when I tried to go on the site. Click it again.
What the fuck are you doing?
Click it again. You're fine. There it is. Okay. So don't scroll beyond. Turn your phone to the side so you can just see Ric Lieb's bio.
Oh, hold on.
Okay.
Let me do this.
So the official fan club of the Four Henchmen, and I hope everyone on the listening to the show is following along at 4henchmen.tripod.com. Your role model, Ric Lieb, has a nice little photo of himself with the Four Henchmen logo. And, of course, the catchphrase of the Four Henchmen is, can you see it in the graphic there?
No,
Scroll-
because there's like some commercial on here.
Scroll down just a little bit to see his graphic. Read the bottom of his graphic on the side there to the left.
Diamonds are forever, and so are the Four Henchmen.
There you go. Wow. Wow, very creative.
I think this is the business card he gave me.
Yeah?
No.
Just a photo of him in like a cheap suit with a watch on?
Yeah.
With like an M&M haircut?
Yeah, that's it.
His bio says Ric Lieb, a.k.a. your role model, home originally spelled incorrectly, or Origionally from Akron, Ohio, but would prefer to be known as hailing from Pittsburgh, PA. So he's a big Steelers fan. So he
I
likes
thought
to do
maybe
that.
he'd be from Charlotte.
You would think so. Weight 187 pounds, height 5'9", finishers 4H, role model clutch, the Landell elbow drop. So I don't know why he's paying tribute to Nature Boy Buddy Landell.
Yeah.
Wrestles for United Wrestling Council, Armageddon Extreme Wrestling. Do you remember Armageddon
No.
Extreme Wrestling? And Fortitude Championship Wrestling. You ever hear of Fortitude Championship?
No.
So these promotions were so bad even in Ohio that Aaron does not know what the hell these places were. Titles held: current FCW, not Florida Championship Wrestling. Again, to be clear, it's Fortitude Championship Wrestling. FCW World Tag Team Champion, former UWC World Heavyweight Champion. That, I believe, is the promotion that Ric Lieb runs to this day. UWC World TV Champion 3 times. They do not have television. And FSW World Heavyweight Champion. Websites: Planet Role Model at www.rolemodel.am.com. And, of course, he has a link to his MySpace profile. So, very nice. Also, members of the stable, without reading their bio, unless you really want to. The Captain, Chad Lieb. I'm guessing that's either a real brother or a fake brother, but he doesn't look like Ric Lieb at all.
But next to his picture it says Louisville Slugger.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Rip Cripple.
what does that even mean? From Cambria County, PA? Another member of the group is the Lord of Discipline, Animal.
Oh.
Very creative name, Animal, from Pittsburgh, PA. And then
No fucking way.
see, I
Is
do.
This guy?
Yeah, that's who it is.
This is Shane Taylor?
The Arctic Assassin, Jack Frost, a.k.a. Shane Taylor, is a former member of the Four Henchmen. That's right. The proof that he was actually named Jack Frost, which I've mentioned several times on the show and looked like a bootleg Mark Henry. The Arctic Assassin, 350 pounds, 6'2". Arms, the only person who has arms listed on here, 25 inches, beat them Python's Hogan, which, if you're fat, I don't know if you can count your arms.
But there's still no way that his arms are bigger than Hogan's.
No.
I don't care.
He was the 2005 Ohio Rookie of the Year. And now I want to point out that this is the chick on here, Gemini. That's Ric Lieb's shoot wife. Not a bad looking babe for 2006 or whatever this is. She's from Newton Falls, Ohio, and her weight is How Dare You Ask a Lady That Question.
Yeah, I like that.
And her titles held are none yet. But I want to point to, so they also have the henchman attorney, Donald R. Dix. What do you think of the name Donald R. Dix?
That's not anybody we know, is it?
I don't think so, but it does, like, he's just a very skinny looking gentleman.
He kind of looks like Kid Rageous.
He's only an attorney, but he has a finisher. It's the crossface gavel lock. Why is he wrestling? I don't understand. And I want you to look at the last guy in the group. Scroll down. Can you tell me who that is?
This firefighter?
What's his name? Look at his name in the graphic.
The webmaster, Tony T.
The webmaster, the guy who created the website, has his own graphic in the four henchmen. Now, I want to read.
And he's wearing a fireman's coat.
He's wearing a fireman's coat. He looks like he would be a plasma donor or something. But it says Tony T, a.k.a. the webmaster, with 3 exclamation points. Like this is definitely a 2006 website. You guys have to go look at this. Fourhenchmen.tripod.com.
There's MySpace on here. And what's this, a tripod? Is that what that's called?
Tripod.com. So hold on.
Yeah,
So
but Mega used to have one.
his occupation is personal and corporate protection. His weight, 164, height 5'7", training, self-defense, what? And then it says finishers, not a wrestler, yet, in capital letters with an exclamation point. Now, I don't want to see this guy ever be a wrestler. He probably became a wrestler, though, but he doesn't look like he should ever be anywhere near a ring. Titles held, I said C finishers. So wrestles for C finishers, and then titles held, I said C finishers. So I guess he's not a wrestler yet. That's the important part. So you got to keep going back.
Yeah. This
Doesn't have a finisher.
really bad.
Not a wrestler. There's a clickable link.
Wait a
at the
minute. How
bottom.
many of these 4 henchmen are there? It's definitely more than 4 of them.
Exactly. There's a clickable link for
Got Dix.
Mr. Donald R. Dix, Got Dix, the online column featuring the attorney of the 4 henchmen. Now, this I don't think works anymore. It takes us to Vistaprint, so that's not
Okay, now it
accessible
doesn't
anymore.
look like Kid Rageous at all.
There's a custom-made professional wrestling and boxing apparel link to JDS Sportswear. There's a link that still works for dangerousvideo.com.
Well, I'm on it now.
Dangerous Curves. Please don't click on that. But here's what I like. If you go down to the corner of this website, the very corner, left corner, scroll over, zoom in. What does that say at the bottom here?
Looking for a used quad, Honda TRX 450R, 5,000 BC or best offer. 5,000 BC.
But it says contact the webmaster, Tony T. So Tony T just went into business for himself trying to sell a fucking Honda TRX on here. In the corner
one
of the
the
website.
4 henchmen's vehicles.
How could you trust to buy anything from one of the 4 henchmen?
Yeah.
One of the 6 or 7 4 henchmen.
I like that they have a link to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
You didn't know that they were members of the 4 henchmen? All of the Pittsburgh Steelers were part of the 4 henchmen.
Oh, God, this just came up, too. What is that?
It looks like it might be a virus of some sort.
Oh, it says it heavily damaged my phone. I got to get off here.
Oh,
Quit sending me shit
no.
like this.
I'm sorry. Look, it's a website that's still accessible from fucking 2006. What do you want me to do? I didn't expect us to go into a whole deep dive on the 4 henchmen, but I couldn't help myself.
4 henchmen.
It's just...
Hey, I know I've told you this before, but I know we have a lot of new listeners.
Do we?
When I worked in... Work with me, brother.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Welcome to all the new listeners of the show.
When Brandon X and I went to... I think we were in Pittsburgh. They put us together with 3 African-American individuals, and we had to come up with a group name for ourselves. So I came up with the Dark Horsemen.
Okay. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, but the 4 henchmen is whack. I think Dark Horseman was pretty cool because we were all African American. Except
You all were?
I wasn't really a horseman because I was a manager. I don't get to count myself like Tony T, the webmaster, does.
Yeah. I love how if you click on... I'm
not clicking on anything
hold
else.
on. I'm looking at henchman photos, okay?
Yeah.
We have to get to this Indie Insider thing because we've been talking for a while now. Thanks, Ric Flair, for all the content, even though you blocked me and you'll never hear this. If you look at, there's a graphic for the 4 Henchmen official fan club.
Yeah.
Why does Tony T, the webmaster, make it into the graphic? He's not a wrestler.
I don't know. I think he wanted to put himself next to Rick Lieb's wife.
He's just he's in a firefighter
Dude, how do I
jacket.
know that Shane Taylor was Jack Frost? Did he work on PWO's Jack Frost?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he worked the first Resolution.
And he was my guy.
Yeah.
He came to help me against Jason Bane.
So
that's how I know. But
took...
I couldn't understand why his name was fucking Jack Frost.
No one. I don't remember. I remember I worked PWO with him, and I worked like a WASP show.
Yeah.
Because he was just starting out too. I think he started a little bit after me. Like, because I want to say, I keep saying 2006, but I think this is 2007.
Okay.
Because obviously Resolution 1 was 2008. But yeah, there's
Really?
horrible graphics on this website.
Resolution 1 was 2008?
2008, yeah. Where's the time go, huh? You feel old? I want to point out that the animal, or just animal, looks big, but I think it's just because he's next to 5'7" Rick Lee. I don't know. Does he look like a big guy?
He looks like he's indie big.
He also looks old. Like he's definitely already dying his
Oh,
beard
yeah,
and
yeah,
everything. Like he looks like he's 50 for sure. They have a custom 4 henchman logo on his jersey there. That's crazy.
I like the hand symbol that they do.
Yeah, it's the 4 fingers, like the 4 horsemen from which they stole their name. I
wasn't expected to go down this route today.
Neither was I. I didn't expect to go down this deep of the path of the 4 henchmen. Again, as a reminder, if you look at the photos, the 4 henchmen official fan club features 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people in the graphic. One of which is the guy making the website. There's also a clearly photoshopped photo of a billboard. It's a picture of an actual billboard, but then Rick Lee photoshopped his logo, like his graphic, over the billboard. It says, "Visit Planet Role Model, home of your role model Rick Lee, www.rolemodel.8m.com."
I wouldn't be surprised if I end up finding his business card. Because obviously you see right here in my new house, all these boxes of fucking old wrestling memorabilia, indie shit.
Yeah. You know what I got to ask about Rick Lee?
Uh-huh.
We got to have Pedro on the show about Rick Lee. Because
yeah,
Pedro
yeah.
was always going to those shows in Akron. A lot of I'm like looking at this venue right here with this shitty elbow drop, this Nature Boy Buddy Landell elbow drop that he's doing. It looks like it's in that venue that they would run Real Action Pro Wrestling.
Oh, okay.
In Barberton.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
I mean, it makes sense, but
Like that's kind of that area. Like, I don't know. We got to talk to Pedro about that, but also we need to take a commercial break. We've been talking for a while now, and
our
when we come
sponsors are
back.
getting pissed.
Sorry, guys. When we come back, we're going to delve a little bit into the Indie Insider book because I think we're going to be delving in this for the next couple weeks.
What?
'cause there's a lot of
No.
content.
They're indigenous.
I'm sorry, what?
Indigenous peoples. You said the Indian Cider book? I think they changed their name. Or the Guardians. You could just call them that.
When we come back, we're going to talk about the portions of the July-August 2003 Indie Insider book. Independent Wrestling Insider. Here on Iron on Wrestling. Hey, if you're looking for pre-workout, post-workout, anything in between,
Contact Juan.
No, you
No.
actually contact TNT-health.com, official sponsor of the Iron on Wrestling podcast. Good folks there. Mike, leader of TNT-health.com. Of course, he likes to hook us up with our creatine, with our glutamine for pre and post-workout, a little bit of pre-workout energy with the Zoom pre-workout. Maybe sometimes we like
Zoom.
the Zoom, the
I
boom
think it's
boom
the
and the Zoom.
Varoom.
The Varoom.
Yeah.
Well, same thing. And sometimes we got the organic vanilla protein going on that we mix with our water with like 25 grams of protein per serving. Pretty good, low in calories. And Mike and the good folks at TNT-health.com will help you every step in the way. They'll help you not only get the supplements you need, but they're going to help you with your results. They're going to help you with your macros, your nutrition. They want you to hit your goals, and they're going to help you. They'll hold your hand if you need to. So no matter where you're at in your fitness journey, TNT-health.com is the website to check out for all your supplement and nutrition needs. And save 10% on anything you buy with promo code IRONON. That's IRONON, IRONON. Save 10% on anything that you buy. So don't hesitate. Go over to TNT-health.com right now. It's free to look, but save 10% on anything you buy with promo code IRONON at TNT-health.com. It's about your health today, not tomorrow.
Free to look, but you can't touch.
Okay, that's almost a song. And what about your good buddy and my good buddy, Juan Ortiz, huh?
Well, out of all the buddies that we have, he's one of the goodest ones.
I would say that is almost proper English, but he is a very, very friendly buddy, and he makes designs. He's made designs for some of the most prominent figures within the professional wrestling industry.
Wait. Can he make a cloud?
You can make whatever you want.
Ah, my boy.
I mean, if he's done stuff for people in WWE, TNA, AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor,
RCW.
I don't know about that. I don't know if he's made a role model Rick Lieb shirt, but if you want a role model Rick Lieb tribute shirt or some sort of painting of
Rick
him,
Lieb on a cloud?
maybe, potentially. Juan Ortiz can make that happen. Of the Dead Designs been doing this for nearly 20 years, and even though they've done stuff for many, many popular and famous people, even if you're a commoner, he can make a design for you, something for your living room that you want to hang up, something you want to present to a family member or a loved one for a gift. You know, the holiday season is upon us. If you need a logo for your big or small business, Juan Ortiz can make that happen, and you save $20 on your first design with just mentioning Iron on Wrestling. That's right, $20 off. That can get you 4 mustache sniffings from an alpaca with all those savings. That, of course, is $5 a piece. And, you know, what are you waiting for? Got to get on the ball. Contact Juan Ortiz right now at Of the Dead Designs on Instagram, Facebook.com/Of the Dead Designs, or go to his website, ofthedead.weebly.com, because Of the Dead Designs, they're bringing artwork to life.
I was thinking about getting a design for a casket. Does he do that?
I mean, I'm sure you could.
Yeah.
Do you plan on passing away anytime soon? Or
No,
what's
not
the
for
deal?
me.
Who's it for?
You.
Okay, well, Halloween was last week, but okay. Hey, did you hand out candy or anything?
No.
Okay,
Did you?
I did. I got about 10 trick-or-treaters.
Yeah.
Pretty
Well,
pretty
in all
rotten.
fairness, they were probably afraid of your hand.
No. I think it's because I live on a street with a bunch of old people, and you would think it's either going to be like a bunch of trick-or-treaters
Yeah.
because the old people give out great candy, or no trick-or-treaters because the old people are stingy and don't want to hand out anything, and I think it was the latter.
Yeah.
So literally 10 trick-or-treaters. It probably lasted about a half hour, and it was over.
Well, here's where I was on Halloween in a mental state or whatever. I was moving out of house. Usually the kids and I go to podcast superstar Jerry's house.
Okay.
And this is the year that everyone was too old to hang out with dear old dad and their uncle Jerry.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, so they went and did their things, and somehow my middle child had 2 dates. And then,
What?
yeah.
Should you be publicizing this? Are you going to get them caught?
Yeah. Well, I think they ended up knowing because, he didn't have a date, but his 2 buddies that were hanging out with him, going to a party or whatever,
Okay.
they had dates. So they brought him a date, but he had already gotten his own date.
Okay. Wow.
So
Must be nice.
He just went out with both of them and then took one of them home, and then the other one was like, "Hey, you want to hang out for the rest of the night?" He said he wrote her a song.
What was the song?
He said it was, just some bullshit. He was like, he said, "Dad, I felt like I was you." Probably just bullshitting to a girl, That's what it was. Anyway, yeah, so I was kind of over Halloween, but I did stop at Podcast Superstar Jerry's house. They have a wonderful setup every year. They win House of the Year for Sheffield Lake, best decorated house and such. And as I pulled up to the driveway, they said, "Hey, the parking's going to be 2 houses down, and you have to park in front of this blue pickup truck." And I said, "Okay." And I backed out of the driveway, and I just went home.
Okay. Wow.
I had some packing to do.
Way to go.
It's Halloween, so
Sure. Yeah.
I had a lot of fudge.
Okay.
Chocolate bars and stuff.
I don't have a good segue to talk about the Indie Insider, which we're not going to get through today. We talked a lot about Pro Wrestling Weekly and Rick Lieb, more about the 4 Henchmen than I cared to know, which, by the way, Aaron's trying to be the 8th member of the 4 Henchmen. So if anybody has any information on how he can join, please let me know. But right now we're going to delve a little bit into, we're going to take a start at diving into the Indie Insider, which, according to the cover, what issue is it? It's Volume 1, Issue number 8 from July-August 2003. In the front, in itself, it gives us a little preview of what we have inside. A Q&A with Low Key. The Indie Insider presents the Philly Indie Wars on page 24. Carlton Kaz's Indie Showcase, page 27. The Scouting Report with Devin Devine. The Barbarian Berserker Speaks, which is actually a young Jimmy Jacobs before he was Jimmy Jacobs. And, of course,
Let's also point this out that Carlton Kaz's article is on page 27.
27. This is a very, very long, thick book. Where did you get this? Do you remember?
Nope. I'm sure at a show.
You had to get it at a
Indie
show because if we go to the back, which, by the way, on the front it mentions that there's news inside on IWC, which is Pittsburgh, NWA East, which is Pittsburgh, APWF, PWF, and all your favorite indie feds across PA, West Virginia, what is MD? Maryland, New Jersey, and Ohio. This month there's also a CJ Sensation 8x10 on page 8, Ohio Indies section. Oh, okay, this is the interview you were talking about. Sheikh Abdul Hassan interview. That's Too Cool Abdul, who I've referenced on the show, is one of my least favorite people in the history of wrestling, so I can't wait to see his piece of shit interview. But on the back of this, you must have been running someone's merch table because there's a list of prices written on the back here.
Not my handwriting.
Do you remember?
I don't write pictures like that.
You don't? Okay, all right. Robin picks, $3. Magazines were $1. This is in 2003. Yo-Yo, $2. Stickers, $2. WWF CD/ECW game, $3. Vince figure, $3. 2000 Almanac was $2. Pro Wrestling Guide, $4. Mankind Bear, $3. Austin, $5. Posters, $1. T-shirts, $5. Lunchbox, $4. It's like I'm looking at something from the 50s. I can't even believe this is like this cheap.
Yeah, well, I think that like the T-shirts.
Yeah.
Were probably used WWF shirts.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Well, like just thinking back, like Vince figure, for example, $3. If this is 2003, like when I would go to the store and like
missing an arm though.
I don't think it was missing. Was it a missing arm? You don't know.
I'm
that.
guessing.
But I'm saying
this looks like some Traxler shit.
Around that time, if I'm buying a toy at the store, it's probably like $6-7. So I guess $3 is a reasonable price, especially if it's out of package. But
I'll give you a package.
Before we delve into this, anything that you want to say about Devin Devine? What do you know about Devin Devine?
I remember working some shows with Devin Devine, and I believe it's him. His nickname was the King of Men, and I thought that was a cool ass name.
You thought that was a cool name?
Yeah, I like that.
So let me get this straight. If someone walked up to you right now and said, "Hey, I'm so and so," and I don't know if you know this about me, but they call me the King of Men.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's a great name.
Sounds a little questionable.
Oh, okay.
All right. Not that there's anything wrong with being a king of men, but table of contents. I'm not going to read the table of contents, but there is a picture of an individual by the name of Dr. Devastation Lou Martin. Well, I don't know if he's Lou Martin. I think he's Lou Martin because his shirt does say Dr. Devastation. And the enforcer, Sean Blanchard, not pictured, shocked the world as they reformed the VIPs, shocking the KSWA and the Fab Four. Do you know anything about Dr. Devastation Lou Martin? He looks like
No.
pretty generic guy. I'm trying to think of who he looks like, but I don't have.
He looks like Ace Steel.
He does not look like Ace Steel at all.
He looks like Mustafa Ali.
On the inside here, there is information on the publisher, website editor, and photographer of this booklet. I wonder if we could probably get more of these.
Yeah. Who is it? Do you know?
I'm not going to say because I don't want someone else to find this before we do.
Okay.
Interesting. Yeah, we'll have to look into that. It's got a list of upcoming shows in PA, so I'm going to guess he probably got this at like a IWC or a NWA show. Did you ever go to IWC back at this time?
No.
Okay, so it was probably a PWX
But
show.
I was probably working West Virginia, is my guess. Was PWX in West Virginia, or was it?
It was
PA?
in Pittsburgh, but
Maybe.
West Virginia-based federations that are listed in here that you might have been at, where you could have obtained this, was maybe Black Diamond,
I worked there.
NWA Tri-State, Mason-Dixon Wrestling.
Nope.
So probably Black Diamond. Okay. Let's see here. We got NWA East Pro Wrestling Express results from McKeesport, Pennsylvania, June 7th, 2003.
Ooh, that was probably before I worked there. I might have been there like ring rental.
With Rod?
No, probably with like Mega Wrestling or something.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Some of this sounds familiar and some of it doesn't.
I just feel like, because at the time, Jim Miller would have been still the president of the NWA, so I got to imagine he had his own fucking ring, right? Though Jim Miller is borderline canceled now and has always been a carny fuck. So who knows? Maybe he was being a cheapskate and paying someone the bare minimum.
Maybe his ring broke
get
and
a
they
ring.
needed something at the last minute.
Let's see what it says here in this little write-up about it. PWX started the month of June with a show on June 7th at the Sportatorium in McKeesport, Pennsylvania. Was that little cabin? There's like a cabin-looking venue that I would always wrestle in McKeesport.
Yeah.
Definitely does not sound as cool as the Sportatorium for sure.
Right.
But the opening match was an upset of sorts as Scotty Venom defeated the former heavyweight champion Crusher Hansen. I do remember Crusher
I
Hansen.
remember both those guys.
He was always nice to me.
Yeah.
He was definitely one of those older school guys from the 90s, though. Who's Scotty Venom? Any info on Scotty Venom?
Nah, just dude.
Devin then came out and booked some matches for later in the evening. He says Brian Anthony will face Dash Bennett, but the only way for Brian to win, he must make Dash submit. But for Dash, it was a regular match. He then told Brandon that he would have to face a gauntlet to keep his number one status. Now, he's referring to people by their first name for some reason, not really being specific. I think Brandon would be Brandon K because I think... Is that Brandon K right there, or is that...
no, I think that's CJ Sensation.
That's not CJ Sensation.
That's Sean Blaze.
No, that is Justin... No,
Justin Sane.
No, Justin Idol.
Idol, that's
Justin
him.
Idol. Justin Idol, who had one of the best matches I've ever seen in a CAPW show against Chris Hamrick in the main event because I think Jimmy Wang Yang could not make it, so they put Justin Idol in the main event, and it was fucking sick. And Chris Hamrick gave him a sit-out pile driver off the top rope, and it looked like it was crazy.
Yeah?
It was like my second indie show
I think
ever.
I remember this dude. What's his name again?
Justin Idol.
Idol, yeah.
He did one PWO show for some reason because we didn't want to put Johnny Gargano always in the main event. So, because we were afraid of the shit talk.
Yeah.
That was the only reason why we didn't do it. So we booked in the main event of a PWO show, Justin Idol versus Nate Matson.
Wow.
That closed the show.
Wow. Was Nate Matson TV champ?
No,
Oh.
we did not have a TV title. This was 2007. We closed
We didn't
the
have
show.
a TV title for PWO?
Not that early.
Oh, okay. Well, we did, didn't we?
Eventually.
Okay.
But it wasn't until a couple years in because I think
Yeah.
Bobby Beverly might have been the first TV champion. I don't remember for sure. But I do know that is Pedro's TV title. He has it in his basement.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it in the bonus over on Patreon, the video where I was going through his museum. And he still has it with the sticker on it. He was pissed because it was his belt and Wally put stickers on it without telling him.
Yeah.
So he still has the stickers on the belt. I said, you can take the stickers off now. He's like, it's too far gone at this point.
Yeah.
Just leave them on. I do know B.A. Brian Anthony. He was one half of the Wrong Crowd. I wrestled those guys. They were the former NWA Tag Team Champions because one time me and Matt Justice actually got a tag team title shot against them. And at the time, this is ridiculous to say.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like now. I imagine it's not like this because of Billy Corgan owning it. But even in 2007, there was still guys who voted who won the belts. And so we were hoping that we were going to have this. I'm not kidding you.
Yeah.
Me and Matt Justice were hoping that they were going to vote that me and Justice win the NWA tag team titles. Because even though it didn't have the prestige that it once had, it would have been cool to say, holy fuck. We could have been the NWA tag team champions.
Yep.
Obviously, it didn't happen. But Brian Anthony came to the ring next to face the Mac Machine Dash Bennett. That's a heck of a nickname. That's definitely a 2003 nickname. Anthony used various submission holds, but could not keep Dash down. Brian finally had the match won, but senior official Mark Steele had something in his eye and did not see Dash tap. Brian, seeing he is getting screwed, throws Steele down and applies the crossface again. And another official, Sean Patrick, longtime fan of Sean Patrick and his work, came down and awarded the match to Brian. The New Era, Scotty Gash and Dirk Ziggler. I don't think I ever interacted with Dirk Ziggler. I don't remember, but I did wrestle Scotty Gash a few times when I started. Do you remember Scotty Gash?
I do. I remember Scotty Gash. I remember Dirk Ziggler, but I couldn't tell you who they were today. Like, if I bumped into them at the gas station or something, I wouldn't know them.
Out next to square off was the unlikely duo of Quinn Magnum, who would go on to book PWX for Jim Miller,
I remember
and Paul
that.
Atlas, who, of course, is the other member of the Wrong Crowd with Brian Anthony.
I don't remember that person.
The four battled in and out of the ring, but the end came when Gash used the Brass Knucks title to hit Quinn, allowing Dirk to make the pin. I hate the name Brass Knucks titles. I think we've talked about this before, but any place that has a championship called the Brass Knucks Championship is just, I don't know. I hate it.
I know a lot of people that hate when breast knuckles are called knucks.
Yeah.
And then for a title to be called that, I remember like friends of mine were like, "That's garbage."
But why is it the brass knuckles? Because it's I'm the steel chair champion. It sounds
Right.
dumb as fuck.
Yeah, I'm the ring bell hammer guy champion.
Okay, cool, I guess. How prestigious.
Well, like it's, I always thought you should call the belt the blood and guts title if you were having a hardcore title like that.
Sure.
I think doesn't AEW do a pay-per-view or something called Blood and Guts now?
It's always been
Or
a
a match or
Dynamite
something.
special.
Yeah, okay.
They do their War Games matches
Yeah.
called Blood and Guts. Next, Dark Star came to the ring to try to collect the bounty on the head of Mad Mike. Dark Star used a variety of moves but fell short as he fell victim to the Tekken Slam and leg drop. Brandon defeated Kid Cupid, Darren Smythe, and Devin Devine in the gauntlet to keep his number 1 status. Now, Kid Cupid is an interesting character. I can't even believe he was around in 2003. Mad Mike, very generic name, but I remember him being a nice guy. Again, an older dude who didn't really do
I
much
don't
of
remember
anything.
him. I remember Cupid. He was one of Fontaine's freaks, right?
He was.
Okay.
A former PWO roster member. Following the match, the refs all started arguing amongst themselves. Senior official Mark Steele said he's tired of all this stuff and makes a challenge to Sean for the next show. Mark continues to say they will pick each other opponents, and Sean's would be Kid Cupid. Sean and the other refs then huddle together and discuss who they think should work and then announce Quinn Magnum. It was now the main event as the Three Rivers title was up for grabs. I am a former Three Rivers champion, by the way. In the first match, in the best of 5 series between Justin Idol and CJ Sensation, this fast-paced match went back and forth with both men pulling out all the stops, but came to an end when Justin hit the Idolizer for the win. Idol leads series 1-0. The top 10 rankings for PWX, see if any of these names other than who we listed ring a bell. Number 1 is Nikita Alanoff.
Yep.
Do you know him?
Yeah.
He was a Triple Crown champion.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the name because I thought it was. I didn't like it because Nikita Koloff.
Devin Devine, number 2. Paul Atlas, Justin Idol, Dick Ziggler, Quinn Magnum, Brass Knuckles champion. Brandon Kay, Scotty Gash, Brian Anthony, Dale Price. Who the hell's Dale Price? Don't know him.
Is it Dale Price or Dale Pierce?
Price.
Oh, then no. I knew Dale Pierce.
NWA.
He was known as the Time Traveler. Did you know him?
The Time Traveler sounds familiar, but
Old guy, really weird.
I
think he just passed away a few years ago.
Did he work Mega?
I don't know if he worked Mega.
He worked for Shasta.
Yeah, that's probably how I knew him.
Because I remember hearing about him. I
remember going on the road with him.
A weird gimmick.
Yeah. He was something else.
Yeah.
I remember Brandon X and I used to get a case of energy drinks. This particular one was called like Energade, and it was orange.
I'm sorry. I don't think you can say that energy drink anymore. That's fair. It seems
I'm sorry.
homophobic.
Well, I just remember getting in the vehicle, and we picked up the Time Traveler, and as we were driving, he said, "What are those things over there?" It's like energy drink. You want to try one? He's like, "What does it do?" Gave him an energy drink. This guy would not shut the fuck up then, which was okay because he had fun stories, kind of. And then he was like, "Oh, what's that cigar you're smoking?" And it's like, "Oh, this is weed." And
oh my God.
yeah, we smoked with him, and he traveled time and gave us the secret on how to.
Wow.
Yeah.
What time period did you go to?
Oh, 3:30.
Okay.
Hey, what's a dentist's favorite time?
2:30.
2:30.
Okay, 2:30. Yep, I knew it was something like that. There is more NWA East Pro Wrestling Express news and results here. I don't know if I want to read this though. There is a boxed off section that says Brandon K. Why with exclamation points and question marks that says
Brandon K.Y.? What was his character?
why? Like why did he do what he did?
Oh.
Brandon K. shocked the world as he turned on NWA East Three Rivers champion Justin Idol during his match with Devin Devine, thus causing Justin to lose the title. After the match, Brandon berated the fans that when he won at the last show, that not a single person cheered for him but sat there silent. It sounds like Brandon K. wasn't working the crowd properly, if that's what happened. Brandon went on his tirade, and Devin and Nikita stood side by side, Brandon and declared themselves the Golden Trio. What will this Golden Trio have in store for the NWA East? Only time will tell as Brandon, Nikita, and Devin will stop at nothing to cause problems for the NWA East wrestlers.
Cool.
I do see in one of the blurbs here in the show reviews that they reference Mad Mike came out next, followed by Crystal Frost to
Yeah, I
square
was
off
just
with
gonna say,
JB
I remember
Destiny.
Crystal
Ooh,
Frost
a
there.
young Crystal Frost in 2003.
Well, I don't remember her when she was that young.
Well, you remember from CAPW.
Yeah, well, I remember her from Pennsylvania, too, whatever that is. PWX, is that what that was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think she worked very many other places.
Yeah.
Now, back then, because the next page is something about the IWC, the International Wrestling Cartel, with a picture of a young and jacked-looking Colt Cabana. Did PWX and IWC have the same heat at that time period, where it's
so.
like if you worked PWX,
Yeah,
you
you
couldn't
couldn't
do
work the
IWC?
other one, yeah. And it was weird because, like, I think the one that you're talking about now, this one that Colt Cabana's the champion of, I think that one was, like, really respected.
Yeah, it was.
And the other one was, like, a hanger-on or something, you know, like, oh, we're the NWA, but
Yes,
you're
that's
not the NWA.
That's exactly what it always was, because at this time, you know, and for a long time, basically when I got into wrestling, IWC was at the tail end of its, like, hot indie run, okay? And it was really living off the reputation of what it did in the early 2000s with Norm Connors, right? So it was like, because they would bring in guys like Cabana and Punk and
I remember Amazing Red. I'm almost positive.
Amazing Red.
Yeah.
Like, I think they did like Dusty Rhodes and Jerry Lawler, or Dusty Rhodes and Terry Funk on a show. Like, they did some fucking weird stuff. Like, when I entered, they had just done, during the time where Matt Hardy had left WWE, they did Matt Hardy and AJ Styles. So at the time in 2005, that was like a dream match to get a TNA guy versus a former WWE guy, current, against each other. They main evented an IWC with that match. And obviously, this is the show that had the Super Indie Championship. So at the time, guys who were actual Super Indies were winning the championship and traveling around with that thing. They would do the Super Indie tournament every year, which was like a very prestigious thing.
Yeah, I remember that being cool.
But yeah, PWX was not as cool. Definitely not as cool.
Yeah, because I only worked at one of those places.
Yeah.
And it wasn't IWC.
The IWC Super Indie title was on the line in the second annual Super Indie tournament on April 12th in White Oak, Pennsylvania. Round one kicked off with Sterling James Keenan taking on former IWA Mid-South South's B.J. Whitmer. Now, Sterling James Keenan is, of course, Corey Graves, as we know him today.
Versus B.J. Whitmer.
Yes, whatever. Weren't we supposed to have him on the show? Did something happen where we couldn't get him on the show? Oh, I remember what happened.
Yeah.
What?
Oh.
No,
Huh?
Did you want to? You were talking to
I think
him.
he got nervous and he choked.
He definitely choked someone.
We don't know that. Do we?
Do you have any recollection, memories of hanging out with Sterling? I of course went to a couple shows with him as a fan. I shared a lot of PWX locker rooms with him back in the day, and of course my last interaction with him ever was him drunk on Four Loko.
At AIW?
At AIW.
Man, that Four Loko show was nuts. It was such a bad idea. I remember expressing to the office how bad of an idea I thought having fans bring Four Locos in for $3 off or whatever a ticket was a bad idea.
And this is back when Four Loko was very different than the Four Loko now.
Yeah.
Because it didn't have like a mixture of like caffeine and alcohol and shit
it was
in
like cocaine, ketamine, and alcohol.
I don't what was actually in it? Cocaine was not in it.
Yeah, but it was some kind of energy, something.
People got fucked up, and
Yeah.
you know, I've said it in the bonuses somewhere. Corey Graves said some weird ass shit to me that, you know, not weird, but insulting, to where it's like I don't hold it against him, but you know, I didn't appreciate it very much at the time. He was drunk on Four Loko, so what do you expect?
Again, I remember I wanted to call them the Delaney brothers, the Olsen twins.
Yes.
Man, those motherfuckers were fucked up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I bet.
Different time, though.
Colin was a different breed back then. Him and Jimmy.
He was a different breed. Wasn't that ECW's tagline?
It might have been.
Oh, new breed. That's what it was.
The more experienced Whitmer made a rookie mistake as SJK caught him climbing the ropes and shoved referee Bruce Gray into the ropes, allowing SJK to grab the stunned Whitmer and hit the MK Ultra for the win. I think that was like the gimmick where he would hold the dude behind his back and drop down to his knees.
Yeah.
And like slam the guy in his head. The MK Ultra. That was the finish for me and Johnny at Resolution 1 because we had to improvise. And the table, when I went to go pull it out for our finish, later in the match, the leg broke off, and I had to tell Johnny in our last man standing match, well, the table broke for our finish. And so he had to get this gigantic kid that we had training to help him muscle the steel steps, like the shoot heavy, like they had to be like 100-pound steel steps to put him in the ring. And Johnny climbed up the steel steps and just like did the MK Ultra onto the steps,
Holy
which
shit.
I think was a better finish because there was no give.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't like a table collapsing, and it was like a good-looking way to knock me
What's
out.
up with Johnny and tables breaking? Yeah, I remember that Starless dude put Johnny on a table, put me on the table with Johnny, and the whole deal was we had built forever for him to splash us through this table.
Yeah.
And after a year of this feud, this fucking Starless went to jump off the top rope, and the table just broke.
Love it. Before he touched it.
Oh, yeah.
to be
He was
clear.
standing on the top rope,
Yeah.
and me and Johnny went through the table. So there's a great picture that if you don't know what happened, you think, man, those dudes just got put through the table. It's like me stretched out over Johnny, and the tables broke. There's shards of table. Okay, go ahead. We got to wrap this up.
I think so, yeah. Colt Cabana came out next. He was the IWC heavyweight champion, or former IWC heavyweight champion. Cabana was taken out early in the first Super Indy tourney. Was more determined, this is written poorly, and focused, which allowed him to catch hentai, Super Hentai, with his Colt 45 for the victory. Next out was Heartland Wrestling regular Matt Stryker to take on Japanese star Ikuto Hidaka. Am I saying that right? Ikuta Hidaka.
Hakuna Matata.
No, that means no worries.
Wonderful
Stryker
thing.
kept to the mat and technical assault on caught. This is written so bad. In the final first round match, the Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels took on former ECW heavyweight champion Raven. Raven accidentally nailed the ref with a misdirected clothesline and hit Daniels with an even flow DDT. But with no ref to count, it gave the Fallen Angel time to recover and hit Raven with an enziguri for the win again. Now, this is when Raven went on his hot run, like on the Indies and Ring of Honor. He just done the thing where I think he was currently doing the thing with Punk in Ring of Honor, which was like a big, very prominent indie feud at the time. Of course, Punk being the straight edge bad guy, and like Raven was just like nothing but a drunk and an alky and everything. Have you seen the preview for the Raven documentary and everything?
No.
You haven't seen it?
No.
It looks really, really good.
I can't wait. I really liked Raven. He was one of my favorites. Even just working with him and stuff, I know a lot of people thought he was kind of a dick, but
he was always nice to me.
Yeah, he was nice to me, and I just enjoyed listening to his stories.
Did you see he's got Parkinson's?
Yes.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. It'd be nice to run into Scott again, because, again, I traveled with him a couple times.
Scott.
Raven, Scott Levy. And, yeah, he bought me my first
beer
bottle of
Jack
Rain-X.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had broken windshield wipers.
Well, good thing it wasn't Rhino in the car with you. He'd have gave you a lecture.
Oh, man, he would have been so mad.
What if Vince's limo would have broke down or blown up?
Yeah.
And
no, Raven didn't do it. He's like, stop over at this CVS over here, and I'll buy you some Rain-X. Really help your window. Okay. All right.
Was that the car with Goldberg on the back on your Goldberg bumper sticker?
It had to have. I had at least
Did
3
he
cars.
say something?
He probably just thought I was a mark.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah. All right, I'm not going to read any more of this right now, but
I think we should continue to go through that.
For
maybe
sure,
not
today, but there's a lot of material to go through in this book, a trip down memory lane. And actually, I'm going to see if we can contact the guy who wrote this book and see if we can get more of these, because I think this is good content for the show.
Newsletter, but it's like 35 pages.
It's literally like not even professionally stapled. It's like how I would staple like a custom comic book as a kid, on the top of it.
For sure.
Like so. Yeah, the Indie Insider from 2003. We're only just beginning there. Let us know if you want to hear more from that book or about Pro Wrestling Weekly and Rick Lieb. We'll do some more research. I literally was gonna ask Rick Lieb if he wanted to be on the show, but he blocked me, so fuck him.
Hey,
what?
Do you want me to ask him?
You could. I just said
you
fuck
just buried him now.
Yeah, I did kind of. Listen, I'm open to hearing him talk. Listen, I've learned something from this podcast. Just because someone has an unoriginal gimmick and is a horrible wrestler and wrestles for a horrible promotion and maybe other horrible promotions and thinks other horrible wrestlers are good and comes up with a stable of wrestlers with a horribly cheap ripped off name like, I don't know, the Four Henchmen, doesn't mean that they're a bad person. Doesn't mean that they don't have an interesting story.
I'm looking up Rick Lee right now.
The role model. Your role model, Ric Lee.
Add friend. There's a chance. Oh, he's with the Henchmen.
What does his bio say?
Christian.
Okay.
Husband. Father. Wrestler. Rapper. Producer.
It says rapper?
Yeah, it does.
Come on, man.
Graphic designer. Artist. And so much more.
Wait a minute. If he's the graphic designer, what's Tony T doing on that website?
Oh, maybe he was breaking in Tony T to the business.
Damn.
Or maybe Tony T was giving him his knowledge.
I wonder if Tony T still has that Honda for sale.
Well, I just sent a friend request, so it's
All right.
on now, brother.
All right. Make it happen, Captain. So, all right. So, hey, that's it for now. Check us out over on Patreon. We're going to have bonus content this week. Patreon.com/Iron Wrestling for a buttload of bonus content starting at just $3, of course. Sign up for the free tier because we're going to have a free episode Q&A over there. And what do you...
I love this guy.
You know what? Just, all right. Check me out on handicaphero.com if you want to book me for pro wrestling seminars, motivational speaking engagements. You can find me on social media at Gregory Iron on Twitter, at Gregory_Iron on Instagram, Facebook.com/TheHandicappedHero. You can find my cameo over on my website, handicaphero.com, if you want a shout out of some sort. You can also find my link to my Pro Wrestling Tee store where you can buy my shirts, Aaron shirts, Iron on Wrestling shirts. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast wherever you download podcasts. Subscribe to us on YouTube at Iron on Wrestling. Aaron, what would you like to plug?
At Fair to Aaron on Instagram. And that's all I want to plug today.
Okay. And
because I'm getting ready to go off social media again.
Why?
I'm just done. I think it's a work, brother.
Interesting.
Social media, it's all a work.
Okay. It's something. Hey, till next week. Thanks for tuning in, and see you soon. Kiss goodbye.